Hello, and this is Steve, not O'Connelly. Hey, man, we're just here doing what we love, and we look forward to the show every week, and it's just a blast, man.
That it is. That it
So,
is.
what are we going to talk about today?
Well, you know, Steve, after much deliberation,
Yeah.
I think we've narrowed it down to
Oh, my gosh.
collaborations.
Collaborations.
Are what we want to talk about today
Yeah.
because that's pretty much what we do. I mean, that's how we kind of started these businesses, real estate related, because there are a lot of collaborations.
Yeah.
But there's different ways to define it. But what we've been able to do with some of the people that we get an opportunity to teach and work with is really kind of unprecedented. You know, I mean,
It really is.
Yeah, I mean, having seen what the world of real estate education has to offer,
You have some experience in that.
just a little. But just seeing that, I mean, I think what we do is because there's no real expectation other than the success of the student.
Of course.
You know, because their success is directly related to our success and vice versa.
And, you know, and I know why the education is set up the way it is.
Yeah.
It's because of liability, number one.
That's for sure.
Number two, they already know that most of the people aren't going to do anything
That's right.
anyway.
That's right.
You
I mean,
know,
statistically, it's less than 1%.
it is, and we know that too.
Yeah.
But we're taking a whole different approach, which is here it is, go do it, not charging that much, and some people are going to come back.
Well, a lot of people actually come back. I mean,
Yeah.
For you listeners, whether you're listening to this, you're watching the podcast, or listening to the podcast, or watching us on YouTube, you know what we do is very unique, and of course, we only do it here in the Atlanta metropolitan area.
I mean, there's only two of us.
That's
you know,
right.
Crying out loud.
That's right. But what we do is we create opportunities for ourselves, but we share those opportunities with other people that want to learn how to do real estate and don't have the wherewithal to actually go out and knock on doors, and maybe they don't have the money to start a campaign right away. So we provide them with opportunities to make money with us. Some people do that. Others will say, hey, like we've got one lady who went and got a loan for a marketing campaign and has already found a couple deals.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, she thought it was a bad loan.
Yeah.
In fact, when she called and said she did it, she said, I just took out a bad loan to do a good thing.
I didn't know she borrowed money to do that.
She borrowed $1,500
Yeah.
from, probably, one of those online payday kind of things, probably.
Oh, yeah, right.
I don't know for sure, but she said it was a bad loan. And when I hear bad loan and it's, really fast money, not a lot of money, it's probably what it was.
Yeah. Probably 30% interest or more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But listen, if you could pay 30% on $1,500 over a 30-day period, even, right?
Yeah.
Which is a ridiculous amount. of money.
360%
Yeah.
a year.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous amount of money, right?
Yeah.
But 30% of $1,500 is what? That's another $450. So it's $1,950 you have to pay back.
Yeah.
But one deal can make you $7,000, $8,000.
You know what? That's great, but there's a question there.
Yeah. What's that?
Well, how do I know I'm going to make a deal?
How do you know you're going to wake up tomorrow? Right?
Exactly.
I mean,
No, that's right.
how do you know anything, right?
Yeah.
You don't know. Everyone is so concerned with these quote unquote guarantees.
Yeah.
There is no guarantee for anything. The only thing that you can guarantee is that you'll put forth the effort that you need to put forth.
Or not.
Or not. Exactly. I mean,
And, speaking of the effort, we say some people will come back, in our seminars.
right.
And we can match energy with, everybody.
Yes.
And that's really easy on a lot of cases,
It really is.
If they're coming back or they're not, most of them aren't coming back. But the lady you're talking about she said, yeah, I'm going to do this. I got the action plan. I got the 4-week action plan.
That's right.
And she started doing it,
Yep.
the actual action plan. And so she found the 5 townhouse
Yep.
that we're buying from her.
Yep.
So, what's wrong with that,
That's right.
It was a win-win. We get somebody that's helping us locate properties. They bring them to us, and we say yes or no. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes we say no.
And a lot of times, especially with her, she'll bring deals and say, "Can you please look at this for me?
Yeah.
You know, before I do anything, or what can I do with this? I know there's something here, but what can I do with it?" And it's that mindset, that willingness to be open to opportunity,
Yeah.
that really separates not just her, but people like her from the pack, from the masses that are saying they want to do something, or even some that do it.
Right.
And they just do it in that one way, like we talked about before. But she says, "Look, there's something here. I know it's too much. I can't wholesale it, but there's got to be an opportunity here. What is it?"
Right.
I love that. I love that thinking, because that's the thinking that takes you over the top.
Yeah. She brought a deal at our last seminar.
Yeah.
Which was, of course, in Smyrna.
Mhm.
Oh, by the way, we have another one coming up.
Do we now?
Yeah, we do.
Well, pray tell.
I shall. It is it's in September. Let me check my notes. Hang on a
With
second.
those reading glasses.
Get my reading glasses. Yeah.
Now,
There we go.
you gotta be watching this on YouTube to understand what this is. So go to the Real Estate 360 YouTube page or channel, excuse me, and you can all see Steve Connolly's reading glasses.
These, I don't understand those little ones because, of course, I don't really need reading glasses anyway. But the little ones, I mean, what's the point?
I mean, how can you see out of it? With those, you get a full 360 view. I like that.
Real Estate 360.
There you go.
or maybe if these were just rose colored, I would be much happier.
You're not missing much with those.
I'm not, no. So this is September 14th.
What are we going to be talking about?
There's a lot of tools out there that are being sold.
Yes.
I'm not reading anymore, am I?
No.
Okay, good. All right. So, and they're expensive.
Some of them are, yeah.
The numbers crunching, real estate programs and all this stuff. And you know what we use is Zillow.
That's right.
And you know what it costs us? It doesn't cost us anything.
That's right.
Is it perfect? Absolutely not. Is there anything that's perfect? No. But after a lot of experience, we can kind of weed out what is and what isn't. And really, we're just looking for the data.
That's right.
We're looking for the specific things to evaluate, a single family house.
That's right.
And pretty much all of it's right there.
It is really there.
Yeah.
But where people get tripped up a lot of times, from what I have noticed and speaking with a lot of people, just not necessarily students, but, other realtors even, they say, "Hey, listen, those estimates are so inaccurate. How can you use Zillow to determine the value of a house? That's crazy when they're so wrong."
They're just lazy.
You know why?
Yeah.
They're not, they've been trained to look at the MLS. And of course there's great information on the MLS, but it's only stuff that was sold in MLS.
Right.
There are a lot of private transactions that sometimes aren't in MLS. Or even with Zillow, there are certain transactions that show up a little late, whether it's a purchase or a sale. They're not updating every, day like we would like them to see. But what it does do is it gives you a very clear picture of what the values in that neighborhood can be from what has already sold, like properties that have already sold.
If you know what to look for, and
Absolutely.
if you know what you're looking at, and if you know how to separate the stuff that doesn't make any sense to the stuff that does make sense. And depending on what you're looking for, some things are going to be in there and some things aren't.
That's right. And there's a forecasting tool that they also have in there.
Oh, really?
Where you could see what the trend was. Obviously, we're looking for things that happened in the past when we're looking.
Yeah.
But it forecasts what it thinks, or what those algorithms are thinking those markets that we're looking at are going to do over the course of the next 12 months.
Right.
Now, it is Zillow. It's not, the Financial Times.
Right.
And all that, because technically, that's what's going to dictate what the market does for the most part. But it's a really good tool to look at so you can see where trends are heading,
Now, I know we're running out of time for this segment, but I just wanted to say, okay, so what we're going to be talking about at this seminar September 14th from 10 to noon at Shared Space in Smyrna is how to use Zillow to do pretty much all of your research.
That's exactly right. But I got to say,
Yeah.
you know, for just a quick disclaimer, we are not being paid by Zillow.
Oh, no, we're not.
All right. We're not being paid by Zillow. It's a tool that we use. There's a million other tools out there that you can pay for.
There's a million
so
others
chose.
that you don't have to pay for.
There are.
There's Redfin. You can get data off of Realtor.com.
That's right.
You know, there's all kinds of stuff.
There's all kind of stuff. We just use Zillow, and it works well for us. We know how to use it. We know how to just look at all the data in there and work with it.
Yeah, and we'll talk more about that when we get back, right?
Yeah, it's time for a break. Let's do it.
Yeah.
We'll buy your house. Click 833willbuy.com. That's 833WELLBUY.com.
Or call 833-WILL-BUY.
Se habla español. Llámanos. Call us today.
All right, welcome back to the Real Estate 360 show. And we are taking you
I beg your pardon?
from the show.
Oh, to the pro.
There you go.
Stop it. Don't catch me off guard like that, man. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, listen, but, you know, we were talking about before the break the Zillow seminar that we're doing.
Yes.
And again, you said we're not being paid or we're not promoting Zillow in particular.
Right.
We're just saying, hey, this is one way you can get research done online for free.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to do that on September. I keep forgetting the date.
14th.
The 14th. That's right.
And it's a Saturday.
Yes, sir. 10. Thank you. Saturday from
Saturday.
10 to 12. So traffic will be easy, and it's only $5,000 for the seminar.
That's right. Just 5,000.
Yeah, dollars U.S.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
right.
pesos.
Right.
No.
You know what? You know
It's just a joke.
it is, and we're not charging that much. We're charging. We're probably not even charging $995 or anything like that.
No.
Or even $99. I don't think.
No, which would be enough to pay for the extraordinary continental breakfast that we offer.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That is pretty extraordinary.
It
Dunkin'
is.
Donuts.
That's right. Coffee, juice, fruit.
Now
It's exciting stuff.
it's probably misnamed because I don't think Dunkin' Donuts came from the continent of Europe. So I don't think we can really call it continental. We can probably call it a U.S. Sugar based.
I tell you, if we threw in something from Canada,
yeah.
a little something from Mexico, we can have the international continental
pancakes.
breakfast. There you go, name dropping again.
So $20 for the seminar. $20. It's really just a commitment.
Exactly.
We just want to know. Okay, if you're going to actually RSVP, if you've got money on the table, you're going to show up.
That's right. And it truly is just a commitment level. We're not doing this to fatten our pockets. We're doing this to actually help folks in our backyard do what they would like to do and do it well. And that's real estate investing and understanding the markets and, a little business education, structure. All those things are so important, but it's not structured like you would normally go to, one of those 2 or 3 hour free events where you're sitting there and they're pitching you for, the whole time. They're saying
75% of the time, and the rest of it's blue sky.
All of it's blue sky, right? So this is something that you actually will learn something from. You will actually get people that you can work with. Develop relationships with people that are learning, with people that are active, lender relationships, private money relationships. There are bridge financing opportunities available through some of these relationships, which a lot of people don't have.
There's occasionally some renovators there because I know that's a big question a lot of people
And
have.
wholesalers.
And wholesalers, yeah, absolutely. So,
Yeah. I mean, those are just really important things for you guys to be a part of. But I do want to throw this shameless plug in real quick. Listen,
please.
if you're listening to this on the radio or wherever you're listening to it, listen, you can also download this from iTunes, Spotify, what other avenues, any platform for and what do you call these things?
Information.
Yeah, no.
Information. A podcast.
Podcast. That's the one I was thinking of. I had a
Videos.
moment.
Yeah.
A moment just occurred. A mental blank. but podcast. So you can download it anywhere. And please, if you're listening to this, on a podcast or whatever platform you're on, or
Now, how
there's
can they,
another one. There's another one.
well, we'll get there in a minute, but how can they reach us in general? How about realestate360show.com?
Just go to the realestate360show.com and let us know what you think about it. About whether you like us or not.
Yeah.
Share, put it on iTunes, write a little review on YouTube, whatever, and visit us at the site. See what we do, see what we have to offer, and come hang out with us.
Yeah. So as a result of these seminars, we've mentioned this one lady before, earlier in the show. She brought us these 5 townhouses, and she found another couple of transactions. So over the weekend, she had me up in Jasper.
Yeah, which is what, a couple hours away?
It's an hour and a half. It's up there, and looking at 50 acres and a house that's 4,000 square feet, and pretty good. Not a bad deal. I mean, I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah,
but. I think it's been on the market for a long time, so at even a lesser price, and the lady wants what she wants, which is fine. But we said no, thanks anyway.
Yeah.
But it might be a development opportunity. It might be something. It might be a bed and breakfast. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's more long range, I think, than we're looking for personally.
Yeah. So let me ask you this about not just that deal, but with dealing with this individual. How are you structuring, these kinds of relationships with people that are not just her, but with anyone else that might be coming, not even through the seminar, just to do business with?
Well, first thing I usually do is I tell them, I kind of discourage them a little bit.
So,
well, I'll say, are you sure are you sure you want to do this? Or listen, I don't really have time for you right now. Call me back when you're a little bit more committed or something like
the
that.
classic takeaway.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Well, I mean, and there's 2 reasons for that. I want somebody that's serious. I don't want them messing around with my time,
That's right.
And so, I push them off, honestly. And if they come back or if they show up with some stuff like this lady did, she said, listen, I've got this place, and the lady called me on some marketing that I'm doing. I said, okay, you're in. Okay.
Yeah.
You're spending money.
Yeah.
That's excellent. So I said, okay, I'm listening. So she said, I got this and this and this. So I did some research on it. I looked it up. I said, that's probably nothing really in particular that I'm looking for, or that we can make some money on. I'm not necessarily that I'm looking for it or that she should buy it. I'm not really approaching it from any perspective other than, is there anything here?
Right.
And then after that, we structure what we're doing. And I'll get into that in a minute because she has another one that she brought. But, one thing leads to another. So I'm looking at, okay, here's 50 acres with 600,000 is what the lady wanted with this, which sounds like a great deal. 50 acres, a lake, it's developable into, half-acre lots and a 4,000 square foot house. It could be a clubhouse. It's out. But it's in Jasper, it's out way, up there. Do people live in Jasper?
I think there's 10
I
or 12.
don't live there,
Yeah,
so
there's
I'm
10 or
wondering
12.
if people live there.
Yeah, 10 or 12. One is leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remind me to come back to that because there's a point to that. But so I said, okay, if I'm going up there, let's see what else is there. So I go to Zillow.
Yeah.
And I say, okay, show me everything that's 3,000 square foot house and at least 100 acres. And I got a couple hits. So I narrowed it down to 1 or 2 in particular, and I ended up going to 1. Actually, I went from Jasper over to northwest Georgia, and I looked at a house that was 4,000 square feet, 109 acres, for asking price $379,000.
Wow.
So is that a better deal than the 600? And maybe. I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah.
You never know what is 109 acres? Is it?
To me, it sounds like a tax write-off.
It can absolutely be that.
That's right.
So I went and looked at it, and the house is not bad. It was actually better than I expected from the photos. it's livable and rentable.
Mm.
And it comes with another house, a separate house that's got tenants in it right now. They're moving, but occupiable,
Right.
that can rent for $700. The big house can rent for $2,000.
Wow.
So, let's do some quick math. Let's say you buy that say you get lucky and aggressive and you get it for $300,000. That's what I'm going to offer on it.
Right.
I've already decided. So 300 times 5% is what?
15,000.
15,000. So what am I doing? I'm figuring out what the monthly payments are.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got 15,000. So that's roughly $1,200 a month, right? If you break it down.
Yeah, roughly.
That's interest only. So let's add taxes and insurance and call it 15, 16, 17. Let's call it 1,700.
Yeah.
Taxes, insurance, all in a month. And so you've got one house that'll rent for 2,000.
Mm-hmm.
You got another one rent for 700.
Sounds like you're making about $1,000 a month.
Yeah, exactly.
Not counting the potential write-off, for the land or what.
Not counting that. And now here's the negatives. I get up there and I find out, and the guy told me before I went up there, he said, the seller is selling the trees off the property. I mean, that was one of the things that I had in the back of my mind. Maybe I could sell off the timber.
Yeah.
She's already done that.
Yeah.
So they're going to come in and clear cut a lot of it. Not clear cut, but they're going to leave 10, 12 trees per acre. Who
Okay.
cares?
Yeah.
But so it's going to leave a lot of work, stumps,
Yeah.
debris, and brush. But you know what? That has nothing to do with the house or
No,
the two houses
no.
or the income or anything else.
And it's obviously agricultural.
It is.
So there is truly a benefit there
Yeah.
for having that particular property.
Yeah.
And put some goats on there, you can get $80,000 a year, I hear.
Oh, no, see, there's an option.
Yeah.
And I don't always. I really go into these things looking at, okay, what can I do? And a lot of times, sometimes I just, we'll just buy stuff.
Yeah.
Because we know it's a great deal, and we may not necessarily know what we're going to do with it coming out of the back end, but we know we have a lot of options.
Yes. And the options are really what leads us to where we want to be because, hey, whatever it is, whether we're holding it, renting it, wholesaling it, renovating it, retailing it. I mean, there's so many different options available to us. And those are the options that we really like to share with people. That's why we're doing this. That's why we do the event. That's why we're sharing constantly.
Yeah.
We want people to know what their options are because for us, they just kind of fall in our lap.
They show up, and it does that for everybody. They
Yeah.
just don't know how to recognize them necessarily.
That's for sure.
Let's talk. I want to talk more about this particular person in the seminar because she's really taken the action. She's kind of stepped out as the blue vase girl.
She's the superstar.
Yeah, and so she brought another one that we'll talk about in the next.
Let's do that. Let's take a break and pay the bills and get right back to it.
Yes, sir.
Do you need to sell your house? Well, our company will buy your house. We make the process very fast, very easy, and it's all cash. All you have to do is give us a call today.
We'll buy your house. Click 833willbuy.com. That's 833WELLBUY.com.
Or call 833-WILL-BUY.
Se habla español, llámanos, call us today.
Well, we are back. We are back. We are back. And I am pretty sure we were able to pay most of the bills with that last break.
Aren't you hashtag the real estate trainer?
I am hashtag the real estate trainer. And aren't you hashtag unemployable?
Yes, I am.
You are definitely that.
Yeah, I've been turned down so many times. It's like crazy, Thank God for that too,
Amen.
because
Amen.
if I had gotten any of those gigs, if you will, I probably wouldn't be real estate.
No, you wouldn't.
Doing this, and I thank God every day for our real estate business. You know what I mean?
Yeah. My mom told me just last night
Yeah.
that I should be thankful for real estate because I couldn't hold a job down anywhere.
I think you probably could. You could probably hold a job. Moms are too critical.
She's pretty critical.
–
She was like, "Oh,
That's mom.
I'm glad you found real estate because there's no way you could work a 9 to 5."
No. Well, now that I would kind of agree with. But, I know you've done it.
Only, you got to do what you got to do when you got to do it, right?
Yeah.
So it is
That's
what
right.
it is.
That's right.
You
Or
know.
what you got to do what you believe you have to do when you have to do it.
Point taken.
Yes, sir.
Point taken. So let me ask you something, Steve. As
Okay.
I scratch my beard, you can't hear it, but you can see it. So, when you're doing these deals with, well, let me just go. Let me step back for a second. Tell me a little bit more about our superstar.
Okay.
What is she doing now? What's on the table for her right now? What's on the horizon for her?
First of all, I want to say that what set her apart completely from everybody else is she listened and then she took the action. And
She
just
took
did
massive
it.
action, man.
That's
I got to
right.
get that in at one episode. Thank you for opening the door.
You're welcome. Now, you told me something I didn't know just a little while ago. You told me what she did to make things start going. Tell everybody what happened there.
With her taking out that loan?
Yeah.
Yeah, she said, listen, I believe in myself. She came and she talked to me first. She gave me a call and she said, look, this is what I want to do. She didn't tell me how she was going to do it. And I said, yeah, I will absolutely walk you through the process. Let me know what you'd like to do. She calls me back and said, look, I got the loan. It's a bad loan. Now what?
Right. Okay.
Right? I hadn't even given her the steps yet.
Okay.
She didn't know who to call. She was going to do a direct mail campaign.
Wow.
She didn't know who to call. She didn't know how to word it. If she needed to word it, is she going to use a flyer or a letter? And if she uses a flyer, what's that flyer going to say? Is it going to be one of those things that look like they come from the government, or is it going to be one of those things that have the picture of the house on it? She had no idea what she wanted to do. She just knew she was going to do it. She went and borrowed the money, called me up and said, I got to do it, and I got to hurry up and do it because this is expensive money.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So, and then that's what she did. She took the steps necessary for her to find success.
Right.
Or, and some people will say so that success can find you. It's not a matter of that. You have to be, as you like to say, you have to be present.
Right.
Right.
Of course.
You have a saying about that, and I don't want to beat it up, but you have to be present. And she was present. She stays present. I don't know how many times a week she calls you, but I hear from her at least 3 times a week.
I hear from her right now about every day.
Exactly.
Well, and that's because she brought another real estate transaction.
She is going to absolutely change her financial life and the financial life of her family.
Absolutely.
I mean, she's already on it. I mean, she does have a real estate license,
Oh, I didn't know that.
She does, but she doesn't use it.
Okay.
I mean, she uses it to, log into MLS and look at comps and see what kinds of things are available. But she's doing everything that she needs to do to be successful. She did what most people would do that don't know where to go when they want to become a real estate investor, which is go and spend, $400 or $500.
Get your license.
Get your license.
Yeah.
Only to learn.
That's not. They don't teach you how to real estate.
No.
Do real estate investing.
No.
At the Georgia licensing.
I like
course,
how
or
you
any
said that.
state.
Teach you how to real estate.
Yeah, that's right. No, they don't have. I left out a word.
I like it though. We're going to teach you how to real estate.
I like that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But yeah, I mean, that's literally what it takes. I mean, she, out of all of the people that I've worked with
Right.
in a number of states,
You're right.
there are not many that take that kind of action, and I can literally think of just a few people offhand, not counting myself, that is,
Right.
that just got up out of the chair and said, I'm ready. Let's go.
Sure.
And that's what she did. But again, to our credit, she trusts us.
Yeah.
Because who's going to go and get a bad loan, for however many dollars, and then come and say, okay, now show me what to do.
Right. Exactly.
They're not. Most people are going to want it all laid out.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to know this and this and this before I do that.
Yeah.
And that's really not how things go. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself first and foremost, and that's exactly what she did. And she believed in us secondarily.
Right.
And then she went and got that money, and she put that money to work in the place that she knows that it will not be wasted, and that's in herself.
Now, when she brings these, we do our best to structure these as everybody's got to win in these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And while we're doing our seminars inexpensively, we're going to structure these transactions so that we're making some money as well. I mean, that's what's in it for us.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right. But, and that goes back to what we were talking about in the first part of this show, and that's, structure.
Right.
When we're putting together partnership agreements or whatever it may be, we need to know what avenue we're going to use before we actually use it.
Right.
You know, are we going into a partnership with this person? Are we not? Are we doing assignments? You know, are we buying it? Are we helping them wholesale it? You know, all of those agreements, that organizational structure is stuff that's handled from the very, very beginning, from the first conversation, right?
Exactly. Well, she didn't know when she brought you those 5 townhouses. She didn't know what to do with those.
No, she had no idea. We had to walk her through the process.
Right.
Now, you know, just like I know, there are a lot of terrible people out there,
Sure.
right? So had she taken this deal to someone else, she probably would have gotten nothing.
Likely, very likely.
Yeah.
But we want to keep her in the loop because we're not here to be the one-hit wonders and, take all the money out of every deal. There's no future in that.
That's right.
The future's in, hey, let's build an income stream. It's kind of like the difference between wholesaling and buying multifamily apartment buildings.
That's exactly right. But it's just a step up. It's a natural progression, right?
Yeah.
And those are the progressions that we teach. It's one thing to wholesale.
Right.
It's another thing to get into the next thing, which would be renovations, right? It's another thing to get into, rental properties, whether they're single family or multifamily. But it's a natural progression that people need to understand how to get there and how you plan from one step to the next.
And you don't necessarily have to start at the bottom and work your way up. You just pick where you want to go in and
That's
just
correct.
go in there.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
No one knows better than us that you can do a $3 million multifamily property or a $10 million multifamily for that, a $35 million multifamily project.
Why not?
We're doing one now.
$40 million.
Yeah.
When you add the CapEx to it.
So, and this is the whole point we're trying to make. So, and can I run this down for a moment?
Oh, well, no. Oh, well, yeah, okay. All right. What the hell?
So we're doing a deal now, and it's not done yet. We don't know what it's going to look like, but provided everything moves the way we would like it to, here's a deal that actually you found this deal. Steve.
Yeah, I'm a finder, man.
That's right. So Steve finds this deal, and we're working, or this potential deal, right? Because we have to look at it, and we have to, see how much it's going to cost to renovate it, and then we've got to go find the right people to work with on a deal like this, because those are the kinds of deals that if you don't have the correct resume, you're never going to get the financing. You could have the money,
Yeah.
and no resume, and they would not give you this deal. They wouldn't finance you. They wouldn't even sell it to you.
Well, we know why.
Of course,
Because, you can stump your toe big time,
For real.
on a $35 million project.
that's exactly right.
You might lose a toe.
Yeah, you might lose a foot, but this is a deal that we're putting the pieces of the pie together, right? We're getting this ingredient from here, this ingredient from there, putting everyone together, including the financing.
Right.
And it's a deal that, we may only wind up with 20 or 30% of it, but it's 20 or 30% of a $40 million deal.
That's not bad.
And how much did it cost?
Well, so far, nothing.
There it is. There it is. There you have it, folks.
Well, no, wait.
Drop the mic.
I had to go and meet the guys and look at the units. So it cost me, some time and gas.
Oh, my goodness. It must have been terrible.
Oh, it's horrible. Oh, my God. It was like all the way across town and,
The horror of it all. But the whole point of that is what you can do as a wholesaler is totally unlimited.
Yeah.
And then you parlay, like that's a deal that, we're not going to make, however many, thousands of dollars at the sale of that. But what we are going to get is monthly and quarterly cash flow, annual write-offs,
Yep.
and so on and so forth. The list goes on. And now we're building wealth.
Absolutely.
True wealth.
It's when money comes in, even though you're asleep.
That's right.
Or-
I can't remember who it was, but he had a whole thing where it's just make money in your bathrobe at your kitchen table.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. We still haven't talked about that last transaction that our student brought to us.
Well, let's get back into it. Let's talk about it. We got a little time.
How much
here.
time do we have?
We got a little time to.
Oh, we don't have
Let's open it up. Let's open it up. Let's open up. So tell me this last transaction.
The last one was, she said, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what to do, but this lady bought this house, and she was brand new, And so there was a contractor and a wholesaler, and they were supposed to just take care of her. You know, they were supposed to go in and she was going to come in and buy it, and they were going to renovate it.
Mm-hmm.
And so the guy started doing some work over there. Oh my gosh, that's laughable. Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
You always know it's bad when you say the guy when you're referring to the contractor.
He's not a contractor.
No, he's the guy.
Yeah. And so I went and looked at it with her, and we quickly determined that, oh my gosh, this got to start all over. And but he disappeared as soon as he found out he had to go actually get a permit.
All right, well, let's get right back into this story.
Yeah.
Right after this break.
Okay.
We'll buy your house. Click 833willbuy.com. That's 833WELLBUY.com.
Or call 833-WILL-BUY.
Se habla español, llámanos, call us today.
Okay, we are back from that wonderful break. Excuse me. Thank you guys for sticking with us. Again, my name is Jason Miles, and this is Mr.
Steve Connolly,
who is absolutely unemployable. And one more time, can we go back into that story?
Sure.
Let's. How does that end? What does it look like now, actually?
Okay, well, so our student from the $20 seminar has come with multiple properties, and this particular one, this older lady had bought a property under the direction of a wholesaler / renovator. I'm not sure totally what the backstory is. But the renovator is just doing absolutely laughable work. It's really horrible. If it wasn't funny, it'd be just sad. But so she brings this thing to me, and I said, well, here's some options, because she's new. She doesn't know what we know, and quite frankly, we forget all the stuff we know. We think, okay, everybody knows all this stuff. When they see it, they're going to see what we see, but that's not the case ever. So she brings it. And the lady has put down, and she sends me everything, the HUD, the warranty deed, the construction budget, all that stuff, the appraisal. So everything's right here. It's all in front of me. So it's a house that appraised after repaired value for $220. This lady paid $113 for it. She's got $38,000 in renovation money. I'm going through this pretty fast, but it's with a hard money loan. She's put $32,000 down on this, and she signed a contract with our student to sell it to her for $90,000, which is just get me out.
Yeah, she's willing to take the loss. She's sick and tired of dealing with the process, the contractor, the house, the financing. She just wants to be done.
She does. She wants to be done. But when I heard that she was like retired, like a retired school teacher or something, I said, listen, we got to go back and give her something at the end of this. We got to, you guys figure out what that is, but give her $5,000 or $10,000 of her money back. And, I'll give her a free ticket to our $5,000 seminar.
That's right.
She didn't even have to pay the $20 that it really costs. So I said, if she really and truly wants to learn how to do this and learn how to make money while she's retired, then, we'll help her. So, again, going back to how can we do something that benefits everybody, because we want to keep the vibrational escrow going as well.
For sure.
So she says, well, what do I do with this? And so I said, well, the easiest thing to do is let's do a subject to. What does that mean? That means, okay, let's just take over the payments. Let's get the deed from the owner, the current owner, which is the lady. And by the way, she's 3 months behind on the payments because she said, I can't put any more money into this.
Right.
And knowing that what's been done, and she paid some money for that, I don't know what it was, it's got to be redone. It's got to be totally, completely redone. So here's how we structured it. We said, let's approach it from a subject to take over the payments, take over the loan, catch her up, and transfer the escrow over to our contracting company, because that's going to be a control factor.
Yes.
And then accept the deed and then do a joint venture with her to pay her a percentage of the net profit.
So now, is this a big national lender or is this a local lender?
It's kind of a combination. It's I think they started out local, but they're bringing in other resources. I don't really want to say the name, but there's 3 different names involved in this thing. So
Right.
we talked about, going to them and saying, hey, why don't we just take this over? But I think it'd just be too complicated for them.
Mm-hmm.
And really, bottom line is they just want their payments.
That's right.
And they want the thing paid off
That's
when
right.
it's all done. And so if we can supply that without having them,
And so, is this something that someone would have to worry about, say, a due on sale clause?
yeah, potentially. I mean, I have been doing this for about 35 years, they say. And over that period of time, I've seen and done a number of the subject twos.
Mm-hmm.
And out of the ones that I have done over 35 years, I've had one that was actually called.
Mhm.
One
Mhm.
out of 35 years. And that was a very peculiar situation. It was when there were some banks that were taking over other banks back in the RTC times.
Ah, yes.
So that's just unlikely because they're really not going to look unless, the payments are behind.
That's right. And so the due on sale clause is something that that banks put in these contracts with their initial buyer that says, hey, listen, you can't sell this property without us being paid. And there's been a number of disputes over this due on sale clause over the years
Yeah.
as to what constitutes a sale and what doesn't, what transfers count and which ones don't. This was, of course, back in the 80s.
Right.
But now you're right. I mean, we've done these over and over and over and over and over and over again and have never really had to deal with this issue. And not to mention, if it is something that you plan on holding for an extended period of time, longer than a year, longer than the time it takes to renovate it and sell it, there are other options for you to utilize in addition to the subject to takeover.
Oh, absolutely.
Which are trusts.
Yeah.
And you can sit there and hold it forever. You can live in it. You can do whatever it is you want to do until it's, time for you to sell it or refinance it or whatever it is you want to do.
You run you run the term of the loan and you pay it off.
Exactly.
And then you just own it.
That's exactly right. So there's a ton of options and I love it.
I want to talk about the structure. So between us and our student.
Yes.
She said, I have no idea how to do any of this stuff. So I said, okay, we'll walk you through it, and then we'll just do a joint venture, and we'll go 50-50 on the net profit.
Mhm.
I said, but, you're going to need $25,000 for this project because the $38,000 is not enough.
That's right.
That's in the
That's
escrow.
what's left.
Right. Well, no, that's 100% of it. She didn't spend any of the escrow.
Really?
Yeah. But it's still not enough because they under bid it.
Mm.
And then you're going to need money to catch it up, and then you're going to need money to pay the payments, and you're going to need money to get the contractor started.
That's right.
The real contractor.
That's right.
So her sister's been wanting to do this, so she got her sister involved in it. She put her sister, our student put her sister on the phone with me. We did a 3-way call, and I explained to her how everything works. That we were going to put it over with the attorneys. She'll be on there as a second mortgage holder with a security deed and note. So if something just totally goes wrong, then she'll get paid off.
Right.
She'll have to foreclose because she'll be in the second position.
Mm-hmm.
But she can protect her $25,000 that way.
Correct. I mean, that's a perfect way to structure a deal like that. Obviously, protects everyone.
Right.
Everyone's in the know. No one's in the dark as to what is going to happen or who's going to do what or who has to do this, that, or the other, including the seller.
Right. Yeah. We met with the seller. She brought me, and we met with the seller, and we went over everything. And so the seller says, "Well, what's in it for me?" And we said, "Well, number one, you're going to avoid this foreclosure because that's going to happen if you don't do something."
That's right.
And she said, "Well, I haven't heard much." I said, "You're not going to hear much until you miss that third payment, and then they're going to start filing." And and then also we're structuring it so you get some money back on the back end and get some of your, $32,000 that she invested in this thing back. And then I said, you get a free ticket.
Yeah, I would love to see her at one of our events.
Yeah,
That'd be great. You've been in contact with her? Just
Well,
off the books here, I'm just curious.
Yeah, we met with her over at the Cracker Barrel in Conyers.
Okay.
It's like,
That'd be great if she comes to it. It'd be really fun to teach her
yeah,
how to do this. Obviously, she's taken action, and she just, whatever she learned, wherever she learned it, was obviously inadequate.
totally. And what I told her, I said, listen, this is not the way to get started in real estate.
Yeah.
The way to get started is to learn how to make money with no money.
Yeah.
I
I
learn how to
agree.
do that first.
I agree. I mean, if you're gonna get down and dirty into something like that, yeah, definitely. But there are so many different ways to go about it. Like someone like that, we would have probably, had we spoken with her before
Yeah.
she did a deal, we probably would have taken her down a different path. Not necessarily not doing a rehab, but something. Obviously, she has some liquidity. There's so many different things that could have been done with someone like that.
Yeah. If she wants to be retired, she should have gone into one of our multifamily
Yeah.
syndications,
or even a lender.
or even a lender. Absolutely.
So, there's just a lot of different ways to go, guys. When we're sitting here and Steve and I are just having conversations about the things that we do.
Right.
And we're hoping, there's the expectation here that you're getting something from what we have to share. And I want to make sure that you're getting whatever you need to get from us on a regular basis. So I want to put this plug out there before we get out. Go to iTunes, go to Spotify. What's the Google one called? Google Play. Just whatever platform you utilize, download the podcast, give us comments, let us know what you like, what you don't like, what you'd like to hear. Watch us on YouTube. It's Real Estate 360. Boom, it's right here behind us if you're already watching it. And, of course, Steve has his glasses on because he has to be able to see.
It's realestate360show.com.
That's right.
And right there, you can go click and watch our videos of this, this crazy stuff that we're doing now and talking about real estate, having some fun. And it's about the lifestyle,
So we want to share as much as we can with you. We want to give as much as we can give. So we just want to add value to what you're trying to do or what you're already doing. If we can't add value, success doesn't really mean too much, right? Success isn't a matter of what we get. It's a matter of what we can offer other people. You're only as wealthy as what you can afford to give.
Right.
And that's what we want to do. We want to give. Create independent recipients of wealth.
And
as I
that's
like
why
to call
you're
them.
the hashtag real estate.
Hashtag real estate trainer.
Yeah.
So listen, we got to get out of here, Steve.
Okay.
So you guys make sure you tune in next week at 11 o'clock. We'll be right here. Thank you for listening.
Thank
this
you,
is
sir.
Jason Miles.
Steve Conley, real estate from the show to the pro.